then, the UK column has been publishing a website on spending by the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office for a little bit of time now, and the latest spending data has been added to that website. Now, the reason that this website was created in the first place is because the FCDO produces documentation on its spending of in amounts over £25,000, but it comes in a spreadsheet form, which is pretty inaccessible to people. You can't search it, and you can't search historically and so on. So we decided we would make that data available in a much more accessible way. So the data on that website is now up to date as far as the latest statistics are going, and that brings it up to January of this year. Now, if you haven't looked at the site yet, please do so. And as I've made the point before, it does do a great job of highlighting how much money is going to a host of organizations, but it doesn't give any indication of what the money is actually being spent on, because the FCDO doesn't provide that information because it's completely opaque. But if we look at the front page again, just for the final time here, you'll see there most of the way down that front page, the top 20 beneficiaries of FCDO money. And if we have a look at some of these, we find that vaccinations are clearly a key priority. So let's look at three of the line items here. We've got £1 billion going to the has gone to the Global Fund to Fight AIDS and TB. £1 billion has gone to the Gavi Vaccine Alliance, and £350 million going to an organisation called IFFIm. Now, I'm quite sure most people won't have heard of that. So what is it? Well, it's a vaccine Ponzi scheme run through the World Bank. It was created as a development financing tool to help the international community achieve the Millennium Development Goals, to quote from the paragraph that's on screen at the moment. Money is pledged by governments, in this case, France, Italy, Norway, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, and the UK, and is used as a basis for vaccine bonds, which are then sold on the markets to raise private funds, which are given over to Gavi. So that's the situation with that. If we come back to the FCDO Spending website and have a look at how much money is being spent by them on a monthly basis, we can just see how much more the spending has ramped up since the start of the Ukraine war. I find this graph quite amazing, Charles, because the data begins in July 2016, and still quite large amounts of money, 400 million being spent per month. But as we've got to the last couple of years, we've seen a couple of months there where we're well over 1.5 billion per month being spent, and one month actually approaching 2 billion. So it is quite incredible how much money is being spent through the Foreign Office, but we've no right to know specifically what it's being used for.
Absolutely. And I would say, particularly with the NATO summit in mind, it's probably set to continue because, of course, Mark Rutte making the distinction in order to hit the 5% target between the 3.5% requirement for what they were describing as core defence spending and then the 1.5 on sort of other stuff. Undefined, and it's not beyond the bounds of possibility that the FCDA might be shouldering some of that, but also this comes hot on the heels of that report that I'd mentioned earlier in the Lancet, which suggests that there is a decline in vaccine uptake across the world, particularly since 2020. So no doubt some serious lobbying's gone on behind the scenes in order to get these handouts through the system.
Finally.
So, yes, finally. Now, if you were in any doubt about the role of Hollywood and the entertainment industry in the shaping of public consciousness, we'll finish the programme with a look at Tom Cruise shaping the recent strike operation in Iran from his mass media vehicle Top Gun Maverick from 2022.
The target is an unsanctioned uranium enrichment plant built in violation of a multilateral NATO treaty. The uranium produced there represents a direct threat to our allies in the region. The Pentagon has tasked us with assembling a strike team and taking it out before it becomes fully operational. The plant sits in an underground bunker at the end of this valley. Said valley is GPS jammed and defended by an extensive surface-to-air missile array, serving a limited number of fifth-generation fighters, which in turn are backed up by a plentiful reserve of surplus aircraft. even a few old F-14s.
Seems like we're not the only ones holding on to old relics.
What's your read, Captain?
Well, sir, normally this would be a cakewalk for the F-35 stealth, but GPS jamming negates that. Surface-to-air threat necessitates a low-level, laser-guided strike, tailor-made for the F-18, I figure. 2 precision bombs, minimum, makes it 4 aircraft, flying in pairs. That is one hell of a steep climb out of there, exposing you to all the surface-to-air missiles. Or you survive that, it's a dogfight on the way home.
There we are, no doubt. He's on Pete Hegseth's Signal messaging group.
Must be. We will be talking about that in extra as well. So join us if you're a UK Call member in a few minutes, but we've got to leave the news there for today. Thanks for everybody that's watched. Join us for extra if you can, but otherwise, see you Friday, 1 p.m. as usual. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.